The pessimist complains about the wind, the optimist expects it to change, the realist adjusts the sails. This quote highlights the different perspectives that people can have on life. The pessimist sees the negative in everything, the optimist sees the positive, and the realist sees both the good and the bad. The realist is the most adaptable and resilient of the three, because they are able to adjust their sails to the wind, no matter which way it is blowing. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. This quote is a reminder that our perception of reality is not always accurate. What we see as reality is often shaped by our own beliefs and experiences. It is important to be open-minded and to consider different perspectives, so that we can get a more complete understanding of the world around us. In every walk with nature one receives far more than he seeks. This quote is a reminder that nature has a lot to offer us. When we spend time in nature, we can learn about ourselves, the world around us, and our place in the universe. Nature can also provide us with a sense of peace and well-being. Beware of false knowledge, it is more dangerous than ignorance. This quote is a reminder that it is important to be critical of the information that we receive. We should not simply accept everything that we hear or read as true. We should always question and verify information, especially if it comes from a source that we do not trust. Adopt the pace of nature, her secret is patience. This quote is a reminder that patience is a virtue. It is important to be patient in all aspects of our lives, from our relationships to our careers. Nature teaches us that everything happens in its own time. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. This quote is a reminder that we should keep our focus on our goals, even when we face obstacles. When we focus on our goals, the obstacles seem less daunting. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. This quote is a reminder that success requires hard work and dedication. Inspiration is important, but it is not enough. We must also put in the effort to achieve our goals. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. This quote is a reminder that it is okay to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is to learn from our mistakes and to move on. Step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. This quote is a reminder that life is a delicate balance. We must be mindful of our choices and actions, so that we can maintain our balance. Patience is the companion of wisdom. This quote means that wisdom and patience go hand in hand. When we are patient, we are more likely to make wise decisions and to achieve our goals. Patience is a skill that can be learned and developed over time. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. This quote is a reminder that it is important to prepare for the future, even when things are going well. By addressing problems early on, we can avoid bigger problems down the road. Honesty is the best policy. This quote means that it is always best to be honest, even if it is difficult. Honesty builds trust and credibility. It also makes our lives simpler, because we do not have to keep track of lies. Use what talents you possess. The woods would be very silent if no birds sang there except those that sang best. This quote encourages us to use our talents, even if we do not think they are the best. Everyone has something to offer the world. We should not compare ourselves to others, but should focus on developing our own unique talents. Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. This quote means that how we react to our experiences is more important than the experiences themselves. We can choose to learn from our experiences and to grow as individuals, or we can choose to let them defeat us. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. This quote encourages us to be honest with ourselves, even when it is difficult. Self-honesty is essential for personal growth and development. It allows us to identify our strengths and weaknesses, and to make necessary changes in our lives. A tree is known by its fruit, a man by his deeds. This quote means that our actions define us more than our words. We are judged by the things we do, not by the things we say. It is important to be mindful of our actions and to make sure that they reflect our values and beliefs. A good deed is never lost. He who sows courtesy reaps friendship, and he who plants kindness gathers love. This quote means that good deeds are always rewarded. When we are kind and generous to others, we build relationships and create a more positive world. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. This quote reminds us that even the longest journey begins with a single step. We should not be discouraged by the challenges ahead of us. Instead, we should focus on taking one step at a time. He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. This quote means that it is wise to give up something of little value in order to gain something of great value. We should not be afraid to make sacrifices, especially if they will lead to something greater. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. This quote is a warning against the dangers of deception. It suggests that once we start lying, it can be difficult to stop, and we may eventually become entangled in a web of our own lies. The young man knows the rules, but the old man knows the exceptions. This quote reminds us that experience is valuable. As we get older, we learn more about the world and how it works. This knowledge can help us to navigate complex situations and to avoid making mistakes. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. This quote reminds us that discipline is essential for success. When we are disciplined, we are able to stay focused on our goals and to resist distractions.